This is Support is Sexy, episode 346, and we're continuing our series on starting your side hustle. Today we're talking about once you determine your side hustle, what do you do first? Welcome to Support is Sexy. I'm your host, Elayne Fluker, entrepreneur, author, and founder of Chic Rebellion Media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I interview inspiring women entrepreneurs who share their wins and their lessons to help you take your business and your life to the next level and create something sexy. Here we go. Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Support is Sexy. I'm excited to have you here because it just would not be the same without you. And today we are continuing our series on starting your side hustle. If this is your first time listening, make sure you go back to episode 343, which was part 1, then listen to 344, 345, and then dive into today where we're talking about once you determine your side hustle, what do you do first? You have the idea of what you want to do, of what you want to create, of what you want to try. Okay, but then what? The first thing I suggest is do your research, not dive right into the business. Do your research. Take some time to look at what else is out there. Now, some people say you shouldn't worry about what everyone else is doing. I get that. But I say look to see who's already doing that thing you want to do well. I believe in the importance of modeling. Model the success of others. Tony Robbins says that it's important to model the success of others. Other people are successful doing what they're doing, creating new things, trying new things, doing new things, making mistakes and failures. All of those things are things that you can learn from. You're not duplicating what they're doing, but you're learning from what they're doing. So who else is already doing this or a version of this? It's not going to be necessarily exactly the same thing, but who else in your space is doing this well? It could inspire you. It could let you know that you want to do something different from this, but look out there and see what companies, and it might not be even an individual. There might be companies that are doing it, and you might see a void there, something that you can fill your specialty, your zone of genius to create your side hustle. It might be that you're going to give a more personal touch to whatever this grand thing is. You never know, but don't go into it just starting and getting started and not having any sense of what's already out there, because how can you differentiate yourself? And as I said, embrace the idea of modeling, because really, sometimes we think I'm the only one to do this, or we want to think that and convince ourselves of that. Part of that is ego. All right. Another part of that is wanting to be first at doing something. But really, there's nothing new under the sun. We've been around for thousands of years now. So more than likely, even if you're inventing something, it's probably a better version of something else, or it's based on something else that didn't work, but it's probably not something that's never, ever, ever been done before. So again, look what's out there. Think about how you can differentiate yourself and what you can learn from what might already exist, and then create your side hustle within the space, within the zone of genius that is all you. Now, speaking about being first, that's something that I don't want you to get caught up on. We're talking about what do you do first, but don't worry about being first at doing something. Again, we've been around for thousands of years, so there's probably someone else out there who's doing what you'd like to do or doing some version of what you'd like to do. And I actually admit, I used to think the best thing was to be first. In fact, when I talked about my former business, Chic Rebellion TV, I used to say it's the first and only internet TV network for women of color. Sounds great, powerful, it was. But until I heard an investor say on a podcast, when I started listening to podcasts about a year ago, that when he hears someone say they are the first and they really push themselves on being the first or the only that's doing something, he wonders why no one has done this before. Is there a reason? That's not to say you can't be first or the only, but is there a reason that no one else has done this? Why isn't this a proven business? Why isn't someone else doing this and maybe it's not working, but no one else has tried? You're the first one to ever try to do this. So he didn't say that he doesn't invest in those businesses, but it does give him pause. And I'm not saying don't be the first. I'm saying don't get caught up on being the first. Do think about how you can do it differently. Don't have to be the first, but how are you going to do it differently? Facebook wasn't the first, Apple wasn't the first, but they are massive companies and spectacular improvements on what was already out there, right? Before Facebook, there was Friendster. Before Apple, there were plenty of other companies that had MP3 players. Apple looked at how to do it better, how to make it better, how to improve it. Facebook, the same thing. So for you, you're not thinking about necessarily how to improve on what's already out there, but you are finding your space of how you can be different and how your service could be unique. And as I've heard Pat Flynn, who's the podcast host of Smart Passive Income, which is actually the first podcast I ever subscribed to. It's still number one on my list or in my list of subscriptions. So funny to look back and see all that are in there now, 20 something, almost 30 podcasts. Smart Passive Income was the first one, so it has a special place in my heart. But what I heard Pat Flynn say one time when he was being interviewed somewhere else, different is better than better. Again, quote, different is better than better. So look out there again, think about what's already out there in the space. If you see a void there, go ahead and fill it. Don't get caught on being first though. Different is better than better. And as that quote from Pat Flynn says, you don't even have to focus on being better than whatever's out there. You want to be your best and do your best, but how are you different? How can you offer something unique in whatever you're doing, in the service that you're offering, in your side hustle? What makes it special? What makes it you? Different is better than better. Do your research and find out the void and where you can fit in, how you can fill it, how you can be uniquely you and be different. All right, so that's a few tips for what you can do when you first start out, what you should start with. Research, and some other ways that you can get your side hustle moving. We're talking about the early phases of the side hustle for people who are getting started, or hopefully, even if you're already into your side hustle, you're getting some tips and advice for ways that you might grow, pivot, switch things up, and all that good stuff. Either way, I'm so excited that you're here. I'm happy to have you here. It means the world to me to have you here, especially for these fun series, which I enjoy doing, in addition to all of the interviews that we have from women entrepreneurs around the world. You know, to see more interviews, you can go to supportissexypodcast.com. Of course, you can also listen to other episodes, whatever platform you're on. Either way, I'm happy to have you here. It would not be the same without you. Now, one thing before you go, I am very passionate about telling the stories of women entrepreneurs around the world. And something that has come up recently that I'm so excited about, I actually shared it on episode 342 called Daydreams Do Come True. I have the opportunity to travel the world and interview women entrepreneurs. I do it now from my home studio, talking to women everywhere across the world. But this is an opportunity to travel to 12 countries in 12 months. I'm taking Support is Sexy Global. That's what I call it. Support is Sexy Global Edition. This is not a side hustle. This is a life thing. I'm super excited about it and I want you to be involved. So I set up a GoFundMe page so you can find out more about this mission to travel to these countries as part of a program that I'm going to be a part of and how you can be a part of it too. How you can support, contribute, or share any of those things. Any of those things would mean the world to me. So please check it out. GoFundMe.com/Elayne Fluker. Again, GoFundMe.com/Elayne Fluker. I appreciate it. Any feedback, I'm open to it, but I want you to check this out because you are part of the family, the Support is Sexy family, and I want you to come on this journey with me in whatever way that you can. All right, so thank you again so much for listening. We have one more part of the series tomorrow, so make sure you come on back. We're going to talk about once you determine your side hustle, once you determine what your first things are to do, how do you share this message with the world? How are you going to let people know about this side hustle? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And until then, you know what to do. Go out there and create something sexy, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.